Chances are you've heard of ChatGPT. You may have even drafted an email or completed a small task with it. But research shows that 95% of the people who have used ChatGPT don't understand how to use it to its maximum potential and all of its capabilities. That's why I'm creating this full ChatGPT tutorial, so whether you are a beginner, an intermediate, or you consider yourself a more advanced user, you will have something to learn and gain from this video. Now, I've been diligently learning and studying ChatGPT for over 1.5 years now, and in my private ChatGPT community alone, I've seen this help a wide range of people, from scientists to mothers and fathers, doctors, business owners, marketers, SEO strategists, and so many more people. And these people are using ChatGPT in order to help with their work life, help with their personal life, integrate it into a little bit of both in order to help engineer and make their lives more efficient. So after this video is finished, you are going to have beginner understanding, intermediate understanding, and even advanced understanding of ChatGPT. That way you can start utilizing it in your life to its maximum potential. Now, some people like a different learning environment or more customized, tailored help, and that's why I have my ChatGPT Mastery course and community with over 470 members now. This is a community and a course all within one dashboard. So what you can do is you can start your chat threads, you can make a post, upload a video, comment, like other people's comments, watch my tutorials that I upload here. And then when you head over to the Classroom tab, what you're going to have is the ChatGPT Mastery course, where I take you through the basics, beginner prompting, follow-up prompting, advanced prompting, and every feature in ChatGPT very in-depth. There's over 50 modules in here, and the users have been saying that this is the best learning experience for mastering ChatGPT, and they have been using it to really enhance their professional and their personal lives. So I highly recommend joining if you're interested in mastering ChatGPT from A to Z, everything you need to know. This is where you'll do it. I'll leave a link to join in the description or the top pinned comment below. At the least, I recommend giving it a look. Now, before we get into actually learning how to use ChatGPT, I just wanted to go over a few of the things that I believe ChatGPT is very good at helping with. Now, I have this broken into 3 categories: knowledge, projects, and entertainment. And within the knowledge section, as you can see, these are all things that ChatGPT is wonderful at helping you with, and many things that people overlook. Now, this is just a very broad couple of examples in each section. There are probably more categories and more examples and use cases on how you can use ChatGPT. As a matter of fact, I know there are, but here are some. You can use ChatGPT to learn information, retain information, mass brainstorming in seconds, data analysis, mind mapping, GPT Vision. So these are a few of the things in the knowledge section that ChatGPT is immensely helpful with. GPT Vision is where you can upload a photo and have ChatGPT actually respond to the photo based on the contents of the image. That gets very exciting. We'll get into that a little later. It also helps with projects. Now, projects being repetitive tasks, maybe you need some coding help. It's helped with a lot of coding in my experience. Schedules, if you need a schedule planned. Complex planning and events, organization, ideas and advice on certain things, and automation as a whole. I've even connected ChatGPT to my Google Calendar, and if you've used ChatGPT before, you can imagine how powerful that gets. And aside from learning at rapid speeds with the knowledge section and completing and automating projects and tasks within minutes in that section, we have the entertainment section. And this is where you can actually have some fun with ChatGPT. So you can do things like song creation. You can have ChatGPT be your own travel agent. You can create your own games, do custom trivia, have ChatGPT solve complex puzzles, or even do movie and book selection based on your preference. So these are all things that ChatGPT really has the power to help you complete and do. And there are so much more items on the list, but in order to actually get into that fun stuff and learning how to learn at rapid speeds, retain new information like never before, brainstorm mass ideas, do some mind mapping, have ChatGPT be your personal assistant, customize automations, and all of that fun stuff, first we need to learn some foundational prompting techniques. So the first step is learning basic stuff like what is a prompt, how to prompt, and so on. So that's what we're going to learn now. Now I'm going to be using the word prompt a lot in this video, and if you don't know what the word prompt is, then you may get lost. So when I say prompt, I'm referring to any information that I'm typing into the prompt bar in ChatGPT. And a prompt is a question or a statement or even a command given to ChatGPT that is within this bar down here. So even these example prompts right here are good examples. So this is the prompt bar, and any information I type in here is considered the prompt. So that's great. Now you know what a prompt is, but what types of prompts can we actually send off? Well, this is where it gets fun because there are a couple types of prompts that I like to categorize in ChatGPT, and that is questions and commands. You can ask ChatGPT questions and it can give you an answer, or you can give it a command and you can get that information that you need from ChatGPT. But it's important to understand the different types of knowledge within ChatGPT as well. So there's two types of knowledge. There's generated knowledge that ChatGPT gives you, and that's all the information that ChatGPT is feeding you. It's all the outputs from ChatGPT is generated knowledge. And then there's existing knowledge. This is knowledge or information or content or text or ideas or graphs or CSVs or whatever it is. It's items that you already have that you bring into ChatGPT that you may want revised, you may want analyzed, you may want to understand a certain thing better, you may want to analyze a PDF, expand on an output, whatever it may be. You can get information generated that's very new from ChatGPT, or you can take that old information, that existing information that you have, get it revised, enhanced, understand it better with ChatGPT as well. So keep that in mind. And we are going to dive into all of that a little bit later between the generated and the existing knowledge. But first, let's look at what would prompting a question look like in ChatGPT. I'll show you a few examples. You can hop on the screen with me right here, and you can ask ChatGPT pretty much anything. I like to think of it like a search browser on steroids, right? It's always good to double check your information in ChatGPT, but whenever I have a question now, I don't go to Google. I go straight to ChatGPT because it gives me the answer much faster and I don't have to search through certain articles. So that's one thing it's very good at. I can ask it a question like, what is the tallest building in the world? I can send it off and it will give me a good response. It says the tallest building in the world as of my last update is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. It even gives me the metrics and when it was built. It says it stands at 828 meters and has been the tallest building globally since its completion in 2010. So this is a very well thought out response. It gives me the exact answer I'm looking for and even some more. Now what I can also do is I can also give commands. So you just saw me give that question, what is the tallest building in the world? Maybe in the same chat thread, I want it to give me a list of the top 5 tallest buildings in the world. So I can give it that command. As you can see, I said, give me a bullet list of the top 5 tallest buildings in the world. So that's a command that I'm giving ChatGPT. ChatGPT will now act like my own assistant and complete this work for me instead of going searching, finding it all on my own. I can hit send a message and ChatGPT will do just that. It gave me the 5 tallest buildings in the world, and if I wanted, I could go and double check that, which I do highly recommend. So these are the two types of prompts that I like sending off. I like either asking ChatGPT a question, or I either like giving ChatGPT a command. And remember, you can ask it a question and generate that knowledge from your question, or you can paste in some content that you already have and ask it a question on the content you have within the prompt bar. Next, we're going to take a quick dive into a very important prompting technique within ChatGPT, and that is follow-up prompting. You need to understand that ChatGPT is composed of chat threads. Anytime you send off a message, you create a new chat thread within ChatGPT. And you have the ability to talk to ChatGPT just like you're talking to any other human, just like I'm talking to you right now. It uses natural language processing in order to understand and respond to certain prompts that you type in. So when you use follow-up prompting, you can do 3 things. Whenever you have your output from ChatGPT, you can analyze on it with a follow-up prompt, expand on it with a follow-up prompt, and also understand it further with a follow-up prompt. So keep those 3 things in mind. You can analyze, understand, and expand by using a follow-up prompt. And a follow-up prompt is what you type into the prompt bar after the initial response has been given. Let me show you a quick example here with our tallest building in the world example that we just generated last. Maybe I want to expand on this and I want to see how long each of these took to build. Maybe that's something I could do and ask as a follow-up prompt. So instead of starting a new chat thread over here or clicking up here to start a new chat thread, I want to continue down the conversation within the same chat thread that I just started with what is the tallest building in the world. So I can just ask a question following up on its last output. How long did it take to build each of these? And I can send that off and it will go down the list and tell me how long it took construction time in order to build each one of these. And then it gave me the building times for each of these. And this is what I like so much about follow-up prompting is I can go in here, I can check out the building times. The Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, took 6 years to complete. Shanghai Tower took 7 years. And then down the list it goes, 8 years, 7 years, and 6 years. But with this follow-up prompt, what you can really start to do is you can start to expand on your answers and start to learn things and start to make conclusions based on certain evidence. So I think it's interesting here that the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building, took the least amount of time to complete. So maybe that's something I could go even a little bit further on. Why was the tallest building in the world out of the top 5 one of the ones that was built the fastest, right? And you can start to learn more information like that at rapid speeds just by using follow-up prompting and digging deeper and asking questions. Asking questions is one of the best ways to learn. You can do that very easily in ChatGPT. The next important thing to touch on in order to understand prompting is output formatting. Now, output formatting allows you to change the output that ChatGPT is giving you within a single prompt. Let me show you a quick example of what I mean. So if I was typing in a prompt and I wanted a list of the 5 most popular dog breeds, I could say that. I could say, give me a list of the 5 most popular dog breeds. And I can send that off. And what ChatGPT is going to do is give me a list of the most popular dog breeds based on the American Kennel Club. And what it does is it lists them out just like this. ChatGPT does a very good job. It even goes a little bit further into these dog breeds. It gives traits, popularity, reason, and it gives the dog breed, obviously. But what you'll notice is I actually included an output format within this prompt that may have went unnoticed. And that is a list. I said give me a list of the 5 most popular dog breeds. A list would be considered a type of output format. By editing this prompt, just by editing one word, changing list to table, what ChatGPT will do is give me a table of the 5 most popular dog breeds instead of a list. And as you can see, the output is much different. So it's important to keep in mind that you can customize the output format of ChatGPT. You can do things like these tables, bullet lists, numbered lists. You can tell it that you want a certain amount of headings or subheadings. Maybe you want something bolded, italicized. These are the output formatting things within your prompt that you're going to have to keep in mind if you want to utilize ChatGPT to its full potential, because you can really start manipulating the output and getting the actual thing that you need rather than just hoping ChatGPT does a good job. Next, I'm going to walk you through some dashboard navigation and some settings that you may need to know in order to enhance your experience on ChatGPT. From the theme all the way to organizing your dashboard, deleting chats, archiving them, and so on. So let me get into that. So when I'm on my dashboard, as you can see, I can open up my sidebar here and see all of the different chat threads that I've started with ChatGPT. So if you remember our first chat thread, we went into the tallest buildings in the world. We gave a couple of prompts, asked a follow-up question, and this is a good chat thread. Anytime I want, I can come back in here and I can continue with the chat using natural language, talking to ChatGPT like it's my friend. But I also generated that popular dog breeds list and table with these 2 responses right here in another chat thread. So I could go in here and continue that chat with ChatGPT as well. So what I like to do is I like to think of these chat threads like folders, and my conversations are within the folder on a certain topic. What you can do is you can rename these folders, or these chat threads more specifically, to whatever name you want. So maybe I want to label it by numbers, 01 dog breeds. You can really start to get organized. You can even archive your chat or delete your chat. And I can go down the list. I can name it again, 02 tallest building. So if you have OCD or you just like things organized, then I highly recommend organizing them this way by renaming your chat threads and keeping everything in a nice list. Let's say you build up a massive list of chat threads and you just want a fresh start. What you can do is you can go down to your settings in the bottom left-hand corner and you can delete all chats. Now this will delete every chat, even the archived ones, so be careful when using this. You can select delete all and it will delete everything from that left side. Another thing you can do in ChatGPT in order to make your experience a little bit more customized is to change your theme. You have dark mode and light mode. Very fun, right? I stay away from light mode just because when I'm on ChatGPT for hours, it starts to hurt my eyes. So I stick with dark mode and I think it looks a little cleaner as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you more of a dark mode fan or a light mode fan when it comes to using your computer? Now, another thing in the settings that I did want to mention, I can close my sidebar, is that when you're in a chat and you want to start a new chat, what you can do is you can select this button in the upper left-hand corner with the little box and pencil, and what that will do is bring you back to the home screen where you can start a completely new chat thread. Now next to that button you have your model selector where you can select between GPT-4 and GPT 3.5. GPT-4 is when you have GPT Plus, and I do highly recommend GPT Plus. I'm not affiliated with OpenAI in any way, shape, or form, but I do think it's very worth it to pay the $20 a month, even just to try the features that it has to offer. But GPT 3.5 is still great, and a lot of these techniques I'm showing you, you will be able to use within that model. But this is where you can change your model within ChatGPT. Now that we have all of that boring stuff out of the way, let's dive into the fun part of ChatGPT, which is going over each and every feature that it has to offer. And I'm not just going to be going over these features, but I'm also going to be giving you good, sound advice on how to use these features for success in ChatGPT. So let's get into it. Now the first feature I wanted to go over is something that is often overlooked, but it's very useful in ChatGPT, and that is the web browsing feature. Now keep in mind, with this web browsing feature, you are going to need to have GPT Plus, and that will cost you around $20 a month depending on where you live. I highly recommend you get it just to try it out. All of these features are definitely worth the $20 per month. But what you can do with this web browsing feature is you have the ability to research live data from the internet within ChatGPT. So I can ask ChatGPT a question like, what is the live price of Bitcoin? And it can pull that live data in from the web. So I can prompt off this question and send that message, and it gives me that live price of Bitcoin. So it's very cool. It also gives me the source that I could click on and see the Bitcoin price for myself. What I could also do is I can hit new chat and I can give it a command. So I can say, search the web for 3 big news events that have happened in artificial intelligence in 2024. I can give this command. I want it to search the web for 3 big AI news events in 2024. And when I send that off, it will search the web and use the web browsing feature of ChatGPT and provide me the sources for each one of those events. As you can see, it searched the web, it gives me the sources, and it gives me those 3 big events right here. It gives me 2 links for the last one and the MIT Technology Review links for the top 2. And if I wanted, I could go even further in depth, and it's important to combine all of these features of ChatGPT and what you've learned about prompting in order to use it for success. So I could ask a follow-up question or give a follow-up command in order to analyze, understand, and expand on this generated knowledge that ChatGPT gave me. Maybe I have an artificial intelligence YouTube channel, like the one you're watching right now, and I want to create videos on these. Well, I could say, create me a script for generative AI's evolution into video for my YouTube channel. And I can send that off, and now I'm giving a follow-up command. And from this knowledge that ChatGPT gave me of one big AI news event, if I'm a content creator, I'm now getting a script for a video that I could create around that exact article that it generated for me. So that was the first feature that ChatGPT has to offer, and I think it's very useful in certain situations, especially if you're doing research for something or trying to learn something new, and you want those actual live source files to where ChatGPT is pulling its information from. The next important feature to learn on ChatGPT is the GPT Vision feature, where you can actually upload an image to ChatGPT and get a logical response based off the contents of that image. Let me show you that now. So what you need to do is you need to go down to your prompt bar in ChatGPT, and on the left side of your prompt bar, when in GPT-4, you're going to see this link icon that you have the ability to click. Once you click into that link icon, it will take you to your desktop and you'll have the ability to upload an image. If you're doing this on your phone, then you can go to your camera roll and get an image from your camera roll. So just for example, I'll upload this image of my face just to show you how ChatGPT can actually see the image and how it can make conclusions. So this is a picture of my face when I was wearing my blue light glasses, and I can ask ChatGPT, what color are the glasses on my face? I can send it off, and I'm just doing this to show you that ChatGPT can see the images, and then you can let your imagination run, and you can definitely start to think of how you can utilize this in order to help you out. I can ask it another question. What are these glasses probably for? So maybe I want to know what the glasses on my face are probably used for. I can ask ChatGPT and get ChatGPT's opinion on that. And as you can see, after asking ChatGPT what color are the glasses on my face, it says the glasses on your face are red, which is correct. And then I asked, what are these glasses probably for? and it provided a couple of different options to what they might be for. But what I got them for is light sensitivity. It says some people wear tinted glasses to reduce discomfort from bright lights. So it's drawing these logical conclusions from an image I uploaded. And you don't only have to do that, but you can get advice from ChatGPT based on an image. You can upload, for example, a picture of a plant or a tree and have that plant or tree identified. You can upload a photo of something that's broken and get a diagnosis on how to fix it. So the GPT Vision feature is something that you should definitely be utilizing if you are interested in ChatGPT as a whole. So I can ask ChatGPT, if you had to give this person a name, what would it be? If I wanted to go further and have some fun with this, I could. And then ChatGPT says, how about the name Alex? It's a versatile and popular name that suits a wide range of individuals. So you can start to see the creativity side of ChatGPT come into play where it can actually name things for you. And as you see, it gave me the name Alex. I don't know if I look like an Alex, but it was a good attempt. Now, the next amazing feature in ChatGPT that it has to offer is the ability to create images with GPT-4 and a combination of DALL-E 3. Now, this all takes place in ChatGPT. You can tell ChatGPT the type of image that you want created, and on the spot, it will give you the exact description of your image. If you take a look on my screen here, I'll show you an example of how this works in action. I could say, create me a lo-fi pixel art styled golden retriever. Okay, so I want a very specific style of image. I want it to be lo-fi, I want it to be pixel art, and I want it to be of a golden retriever. I could even get more in depth and say in a sunset or something like that. And when I send it off, ChatGPT is actually going to create this image using DALL-E. As you can see right here, it's in the process of creating it. And all of this is happening within 10 to 15 seconds. Just like every other ChatGPT response, it's going to generate me this image very quickly, doing exactly what I asked for. So as you can see, we now have a lo-fi pixel art styled golden retriever in a sunset. So this is very, very cool. You can even click into this if you'd like and see the prompt that it used in order to generate it by selecting this little information button in the upper right hand corner. So you can see this is the prompt it used in that AI image generation software, DALL-E 3, in order to generate this image. You can copy the prompt, mess around with it if you want. So the pictures are very fun to mess around with. This can help with getting you stock photos, product photos. Maybe you can upload an image to ChatGPT and get a prompt for that image that you uploaded. Kind of use a reverse prompting technique in order to create your images within ChatGPT. It's very quick. It's also very fun to use as well, so I highly recommend you try that out. The next use case and feature that ChatGPT has is the data analysis feature. Now, this is the most powerful one. I've made multiple videos on it. I've made a full guide on how to use this feature. If you want to watch it, you can look in the upper right-hand corner and click on that video right there. But I'm going to show you a couple of examples on using this data analysis feature, and I just want to let you know that it's available, really, just so you can start using it for yourself and that you can understand the basics of it. That way it can empower you to analyze the data in any way that you want. So let's take a look at my screen once again, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit this link icon once again. You can hit the link icon to use GPT Vision, or also upload files or spreadsheets or CSVs or PDFs that you want to analyze within ChatGPT. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select this link icon, and then I have a few data sets here that I got from a website called Kaggle.com, where I can get free data sets whenever I want. And so I'll just upload one of these for an example. Let's upload US Christmas tree sales from 2010 to 2016. We can open that up. And as you can see, the spreadsheet is just loaded down in my prompt bar. And now that it's uploaded, I can ask ChatGPT to do a bunch of things with this data using the data analysis feature in ChatGPT. From creating a bar graph, a line graph, a pie chart. You can really create any chart you can think of in ChatGPT, and it will generate it based on the data that you uploaded. So if you're in finances or you like spreadsheets a lot, you can upload your spreadsheets and have ChatGPT find trends in your data or make graphs based on your data in a matter of seconds. But the first most important thing to do whenever you're trying to analyze your data in ChatGPT or get cool graphs is to have ChatGPT clean your data first, because ChatGPT works best with a clean set of data. And what it can do is it can clean your data, reform your CSV, and give you a downloadable link with the revised data. So that's what I'm going to ask it to do first. I'm going to say clean this data if needed. okay? Sometimes the data won't need cleaned, but it's always very good to check if your data needs cleaned with ChatGPT, because a clean set of data is the best way to go about analyzing it in the future. So right now it's going through the list of things that it's going to check to see if this data needs to be cleaned. It says column names it needs to check, data types, missing values, duplicate rows, and consistency and categorical data. And so now it's saying let's proceed with these checks. And then it's giving me everything that it's completing after it's done all of these checks. So it's running you through a very complex process that would take hours if you did this on your own, and it's doing it in seconds. And now it's saying the only remaining action might be to consider converting the type of tree column to a categorical type for data efficiency, and potentially converting the year column to a date time object if temporal analysis is planned. And then it says, shall we proceed with these conversions? And I can just say, yes, proceed, and give me a downloadable copy of the new data. And I can send it off, and ChatGPT is going to proceed with that and give me a link that I can use to download that cleaned data. And it's doing this in literally 15 seconds. As you can see, now I can hit this download file, and download is started. Now that the data is cleaned in ChatGPT, what we can do is we can better analyze it. So I can ask it to make a bar graph of the data. And not only that, but I can have it walk me through the process of creating the bar graph. That way I know what's going on and what data is being compared to what. So I can ask ChatGPT to walk me through the process of creating a bar graph and create one based on this data. And I can send it off. And what it did is it gave me the step-by-step process in actually creating a good bar graph. And then it completed the second half of my prompt where I told it to create one. And what it did is, native to ChatGPT, it made a graph based on the spreadsheet that I uploaded of the annual Christmas tree sales from 2010 to 2015. And as you can see, this graph is very in-depth, it's very good, it's everything I asked for. It's doing a bar graph comparing real trees to fake trees and the number of trees sold. So as you can see, the number of real trees sold was much higher than the number of fake trees sold. And if you really want to go further in depth with data analysis in ChatGPT, what you can do is you can compare certain graphs. So I can ask it to now make a line graph based on this same data. So it's always good to compare these certain graphs to see certain outliers, certain years, or trends that may have been developed through all of these Christmas tree sales or whatever data you're comparing. So as you can see, it created that line graph and created the bar graph for me. You can do things like radar charts, pie charts, circle graphs, wave graphs, heat graphs, plot maps. You can do many different things with this ChatGPT data analysis feature. This is just scratching the surface. This next ChatGPT feature is probably one of the more powerful features, and that's because free and paid users can use this. You don't need to have a Plus account, and it's available to everyone. And that feature is custom instructions. Custom instructions allow you to manipulate ChatGPT's outputs for every response in the back end. That way your prompts can stay short and you don't need to list things like your output formatting, or you don't need to give as much context. You can have ChatGPT be more tailored to your situation and to your profession and to what you do and how you act and how you want the responses to be formed. Do you want them long, short? Do you want them funny? Do you want it to end with 1,000 exclamation points at the end of each response? The choice is really yours. And you can customize every aspect of a ChatGPT output in custom instructions. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you go and open up your sidebar and you head down to the bottom left-hand corner where it says your name and your account and click on that, you'll see a button that says Customize ChatGPT. And when you click on this Customize ChatGPT option, what you'll notice is you have the ability to turn off any features that you don't want in ChatGPT, which I don't know why you would want to do that. If you pay for GPT Plus, you should definitely have these activated. But what you'll notice beneath that capabilities section is we have custom instructions here. And custom instructions, like I said, allow you to manipulate the output of ChatGPT. So what I can do is I can hit enable for new chats down here, and now I have the ability to click in here and edit these boxes. So the first box is what would you like ChatGPT to know about you in order to provide better responses. And when you click in here, you can see some of the thought starters on the right that you could potentially put in here. Things like, where are you based? What do you do for work? What are your hobbies and interests? What subjects can you talk about for hours? And what are some goals you have? When you're giving ChatGPT your goals and everything you do, it's kind of formatting its output and its actions and its responses in order to help you achieve those things. And it's keeping all of that in mind when generating its output. And then we have another section down here. How would you like ChatGPT to respond? This section is how formal or casual ChatGPT should be. How long or short should the responses of ChatGPT be? As you know, whenever you give ChatGPT a command, sometimes those responses are super long. So if you want them a little shorter, you can tell it to make the responses very short. And now if I hit save, ChatGPT's responses are going to be very short because I've given it the instructions here in the back end. You can also put things in here like how you want to be addressed or the opinions you want ChatGPT to have on certain subjects or topics. Now, this is cool and all if you do this on your own. That's how I started. I customized ChatGPT to how I wanted. I gave it some information about myself, but it's not the way I use it anymore. It's kind of a way of the past. The way I like to use it is I like to look at my problems as needing professional help. And essentially what I've done is I've made 300 different personas that can help me with any problem that I deal with in ChatGPT. Let me show you that database real quick and kind of how this all ties together and how it works. So these are my 300 custom personas for ChatGPT. I do have these for sale on my website. If you want these, I'll leave them in the description below or the top pinned comment. But these are all different personas or things that I might need help with in ChatGPT. There's 10 different categories: marketing, business, writing, finance, technology. It even goes into creative arts and entertainment. And within each of those categories, there's 30 different personas. So really any problem you run into with ChatGPT, you can have tailored help using these custom instructions. And the responses from ChatGPT will be much more robust and helpful to your situation. So if you're dealing with something like content and you want to create better content in ChatGPT, then this pre-filled persona used with custom instructions will dramatically help the output. And this is good foundational techniques for learning prompting in ChatGPT. What you're doing is you're forming ChatGPT into a specific role and having it respond like that role when using these. And it's as easy as copying and pasting into your custom instructions. So if I go to ChatGPT, I open up my custom instructions, I enable them. In this top box here, I can go to the top box in the content strategist persona within my database, copy it to my clipboard, and now ChatGPT is taking on that profession or role of a content strategist. It knows its key responsibilities, its knowledge and expertise, its jargon that it's using, and so much more. But I don't only want it to take on that role. I want it to respond like that role as well because I want to be able to go to this content strategist for help. And ChatGPT is my content strategist in this case. So what I would do is I would head back here and go to the second box in my database. I would hit copy to clipboard, head back, and paste it in that second box. So now ChatGPT is responding like a content strategist and it's acting like one too, right after I hit save. And now anytime ChatGPT outputs a new response, it's going to be much more grand and much better for content strategy since that's the persona that I used from my database. So I'll show you a quick example of how the responses from ChatGPT differ when I have these custom instructions activated in the backend compared to when I don't have them activated. So since I have a content strategist activated currently, I can ask a content question. Maybe I'll ask, create me a content calendar for my YouTube channel in order to gain 1,500 subscribers this year. I'm in the artificial intelligence niche. So this is a question I'm asking ChatGPT. I'm going to send it off, and this is with the content strategist persona activated within that custom instructions feature in ChatGPT. So I'm going to cancel, and as you can see, it's giving me nice big headers. It's labeling this very nice, giving me a step-by-step list in order to complete this content calendar for my YouTube channel. And this is going to have a very tailored feel, and it's going to be very different from the average ChatGPT responses. As you can see, it's just providing me a table because that's what I listed in my backend instructions. I work very well from tables, so that's what I wanted included within my content strategist in ChatGPT. And this is a beautiful response. It's giving me those step-by-step lists in order to follow and in order to walk through in order to grow my channel. It's giving me this beautiful content calendar. But now let me copy and paste the same prompt into a new chat. And with this new chat, let me disable my custom instructions. So now ChatGPT is just in its basic GPT-4 model with no custom instructions, and let's see how these two responses differ. I'm going to send it off, and most likely it won't be in that beautiful, nice heading step-by-step list with those big headers telling me what to do. And it's going to be very broad, general information that everyone else is getting that doesn't use custom instructions. And so this is still a decent response, but as you can see, this is without custom instructions activated. and this is with custom instructions activated. It's much more robust. It gives me the step-by-step list and what I need to complete and what I need to think about. And it also gives me this beautiful table. And that's just by copying and pasting in a custom instruction that I pre-created. So I guess the main thing to take away from custom instructions is ChatGPT is so much more than just typing into the prompt bar, getting your response, getting your answer, whatever it may be. You can really customize the output of ChatGPT in order to work for you in the ways that you like using custom instructions. And I love custom instructions because there's a free option too. People who have GPT 3.5 can use custom instructions. So anyone can really customize that output of ChatGPT like I just showed you. Now the next feature I'm going to show you is something a little bit like custom instructions. This is going to be a little bit more advanced and also only for Plus users, and that is creating a GPT. And a GPT is a custom version of ChatGPT that you can create. You can think of it like a personal assistant that does very specific things. This is great for automating repetitive tasks and using ChatGPT to its maximum potential. I'm going to show you how to do this now a little bit on the lighter side, because if I was here teaching you how to create a very, very good GPT, we would be here for hours. I do have more content on this feature within my ChatGPT Mastery course showing you how to create an amazing GPT, but let's get into it. So what are GPTs? Well, they are those things that you've been seeing over here on the left with these little avatars and these little faces. I like to look at every one of these little GPTs as one of my assistants in order to help me solve a certain problem that I deal with, because what you do is you build the process that you want ChatGPT to go through one time in the back end, and you can even give it actions like connecting to your Google Calendar or making a Google Doc or sending off an email. And you can also upload knowledge to a knowledge database to have it pull thousands of words worth of information from a PDF or a picture or whatever it may be. And if I click into one of these GPTs, like my sleep optimizer, what I can do is I can run through a specific process in ChatGPT. And this is something that I made. And I'll show you the back end here in a second. This is something I made within my ChatGPT Mastery group. I showed how I built the entire thing in there. But this is personalized sleep coach offering tailored advice for better sleep habits. And it's basically a protocol I created so that whenever I click this button above my prompt bar in ChatGPT to initiate the sleep protocol, what it does is it walks me through a step-by-step list in order to give me tailored advice for my sleep. And it says, before we start, could you please tell me the date in this format? And what I have this doing is storing them in a Google Doc format. So I can give it the date. I can say that it's 04/07/2024, and I can send that off. And now it's going to keep walking me through the process, right? And it's going to ask me for my overall happiness, my energy level, stress and anxiety, social interaction, and sense of accomplishment based on a scale of 0.0 to 10.0. So I'll fill all of this out real quick. I'll just say 10.0. And now that I have all my grades, I can send that off. By the way, this is an example of a GPT being used in progress. It says, based on your response, your total score for your mood category is 39.0 out of 50. This gives you a grade of B. And what it will do is it will keep walking me through this process. But how is this process happening on the front end? And why is ChatGPT so custom? Well, that's because I made it so in the back end. If I select Edit GPT up here in the corner, what you'll notice is I have a ton of different instructions in here. I can go through all of these instructions. I have ChatGPT doing that on the front end so that when I'm using this sleep optimizer, it can give me good tips, upload my mood score to a Google Drive, and do so much more. I even have certain pictures that it can utilize based on my scores right here, which is very cool. It's a fun way to interact with it. And I even have these actions using Zapier that allow me to upload to Google Docs into my Google Calendar and so on. So this is what the back end looks like. And with these GPTs that get very in depth, you can give them a name, a description, and as I said, you can go into the instructions, and with these instructions, you can customize your own personal assistant to do certain things and to output its information in a certain format and to think a certain way. And you can really make these assistants help you automate and speed up repetitive tasks. If you want to watch a full video on that, then I have it up in the upper right-hand corner. I highly recommend you dive into that because it is very powerful. Now, of course, I also go more in depth on the GPTs within my mastery course, and I'll leave a link to that in the description or the top pinned comment as well. But these GPTs, once you start using them, are probably the most powerful thing in ChatGPT. And it all comes from crafting good instructions. And you learned how to do that in the custom instructions section of this video. So now you have a good grasp on the main features of ChatGPT that are important to learn and understand and use. Now, I don't have enough time in this video in specific in order to go in depth on each feature, But I just wanted to spread awareness to these features because a lot of them are very underrated and not many people know about them. In this next section, I'm going to show you some techniques that you can use in ChatGPT in order to get ahead of the curve and in order to start utilizing it to its full potential. So I highly recommend you stick around to the end of this video because what you're about to learn might be more important than all of the features you just learned. We're going to be using a combination of everything from the prompting techniques that I gave you in the beginning of this video all the way to utilizing features, sometimes even multiple features at once. So let's get into it. And we're going to start this with the first technique that I like to use ChatGPT for, which is brainstorming. Now, one of my favorite ways to brainstorm in ChatGPT is with mind maps. I'm going to show you how I use a GPT, what we just learned about in last example, in order to create mind maps from ChatGPT. So the beautiful thing about ChatGPT is that when you open up your sidebar and hit Explore GPTs, when on GPT Plus, you have all of these GPTs created from other people that do hyper-specific things. So one of my favorite GPTs is the Whimsical GPT. And what the Whimsical GPT does is it allows you to create visual concepts like flowcharts, diagram, and mind maps within ChatGPT. So I can click that and hit Start Chat. And this is one of my favorite ways to brainstorm. You can really start to brainstorm a bunch of different ideas in a huge mind map setting in ChatGPT, and I find it super, super powerful. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT while in this Whimsical Diagrams GPT, help me brainstorm business name ideas through a mind map. My niche is artificial intelligence. I can send that off, and this Whimsical Diagrams is a custom action that will actually talk to Whimsical and create me a mind map in order to help me brainstorm, because mind mapping allows you to visually diagnose everything that's being presented to you and see how everything connects. And it's not only going to give me the mind map in ChatGPT, but it's also going to give me a link that I can select, and that link will actually take me to Whimsical where I can move things around, and I can even change some of the colors in here if I want to select this. Maybe I want this section to be red, that section to be purple. I can change all of this information in here. I can highlight it, move it around, I can save it to my desktop or do whatever I want with it. And this was generated in a matter of 5 seconds. That's the power of ChatGPT, is the speed in which it can operate. It's breaking these down into nice categories that I can easily visualize with a mind map, and this is one of my favorite ways to brainstorm in ChatGPT. Now, how about understanding information? Understanding information is one of those things that's very hard to do sometimes, but I've created rapid learning techniques and retention techniques in ChatGPT that help you take in mass amounts of information, more than ever before ChatGPT was a thing, because there are learning techniques that people use, but actually being able to form these learning techniques with ChatGPT has revolutionized the game. So if you're a student or you're somebody who likes learning loads and loads of information and being able to retain that knowledge, then these rapid learning techniques are definitely for you. The first technique is explain it to me like I'm 5. Now I showed you this one earlier in a video, but this one helps you break things down into a childlike response. That way you can grasp the main ideas of it. So I can ask ChatGPT to explain something complex to me as if I'm a 5-year-old. So I could ask it to explain cryptocurrency to me as if I am 5 years old. I can send it off. Cryptocurrency is kind of a complex topic, so being able to visualize it in a more childlike or kid-like answer or response is much easier. So it says, imagine you have a piggy bank at home where you keep your coins and notes, but instead of keeping your money in a piggy bank, what if you could keep it in a special kind of piggy bank on the computer? The piggy bank is really cool because it's not just in one computer, it's in lots of computers around the world at the same time. So you start to understand this, right? You can pause the screen and read this to see how well it does, but ChatGPT really breaks things down for you in that way, as if it's trying to teach a 5-year-old this very complex topic. So this is one way that I really like to rapidly retain information, is when there's a complex topic, I can paste in that topic to ChatGPT, I can paste in that article to ChatGPT, I can paste in the blog post, and then I can say, explain this to me in simpler terms, or explain it to me like I'm 5 if I'm really struggling. But another technique that I've been using for learning is in the form of analogies, because analogies allow you to connect 2 points to one another, and ChatGPT can create an analogy out of literally anything. Any complex thing, ask ChatGPT to create an analogy for it and see how it does. I really challenge you to do that as soon as you're done watching this video. I'll show you what that looks like right now using something like photosynthesis. I've used this example plenty of times in the past, but I think it shows really well how ChatGPT can use analogies in order to help you remember certain things much better. So I'll ask ChatGPT to give me an analogy to help me understand photosynthesis. And what I can do is I can send that off. And when you get this analogy, you'll be able to connect photosynthesis to something else, and that will allow you to understand it much better. Not necessarily the very technical terms in the understanding, but just the overall idea of how it works. So it says, imagine photosynthesis like a solar-powered factory that produces food. In this analogy, the factory is the plant, and I like how it connects everything. It says the factory is the plant, especially the leaves. The solar panels are the chlorophyll, the green pigment in the leaves, and the sunlight is the energy source. The raw materials for this factory are carbon dioxide, air, and water from the soil. So it's breaking this down, it's connecting every little thing to a certain part of a factory, and then it gets into a beautiful explanation of how photosynthesis could be like this solar-powered factory that makes certain food. So I highly recommend you use those learning techniques in order to further understand things and also retain the things that you're learning with ChatGPT. That is honestly the biggest superpower of ChatGPT, in my opinion, is the ability to do things as simple as creating analogies. Another thing ChatGPT is amazing at is planning complex events. So if you have a big event, that can get very stressful when you have tons of guests, time slots, a lot of different things going on. You have to cater food. That's a very stressful thing to think about, and you never want to forget anything or leave it out. So you can give ChatGPT your exact situation, from the weather to where it's located, the amount of land you have to host the event, the amount of square feet in the building you're hosting the event in, how many guests are coming, the time slots. You can give it all that information and tell it to develop a plan for this event, or a schedule, or a checklist. Whatever you need, ChatGPT can help with your planning needs. So I'll show you that right now, and I'm just going to create a quick prompt for a mock event. So I said I am hosting a 30-person seminar for my consulting clients. This event is going to be hosted in a hotel conference room and be for 8 hours. Give me a checklist and a plan so I don't have any blind spots or things I might forget. And if you're feeling stressed out, ChatGPT can give you that big list of items or things that you should keep in mind in order to be completely prepared and see some things that you might miss when planning out this event. So I can send off this message, send off this command, and watch ChatGPT go to work. It's breaking it down into certain sections. First, it's giving me pre-event planning, objectives, and audience. It's telling me certain bullet points within each subsection, giving me the budget, venue and date, agenda and content, logistics, registration and communication. So it's running me through literally everything I should keep in mind before having this consulting event in a hotel conference room. Gives me the event day, post-event, and also some miscellaneous things like a backup plan, ensure Wi-Fi and electrical outlets are adequate and accessible, special dietary needs, first aid kit, hotel emergency procedures, things that might slip under the radar if you're going through the stress of planning a big event or need a schedule or a checklist plans. ChatGPT can really help you out and help cover some of those blind spots, especially if you're planning on your own. Now, this is just the beginning of all that ChatGPT has to offer. I mean, I am barely scratching the surface. These examples are very simple, but they're meant to get your mind spinning on how you can start to use ChatGPT. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to learn ChatGPT further and more in depth on each of these topics, I highly recommend purchasing the ChatGPT Mastery course and community, which I will be leaving in the description or the top pinned comment below. That will really enhance your ChatGPT learning experience, and you will definitely feel more refined in your skills. Or you can watch some more free content on my YouTube channel. I have plenty of content here going over how to use ChatGPT for beginners and even intermediate to advanced users. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. That way you never miss a new ChatGPT video or tutorial. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.